Hey everyone, xHarbz here, back again, going to be reviewing Week 12 on Draftkings. It was a solid week, lost a lot of money, but that's how it goes sometimes. I think the process was completely spot on, so can't really complain about that, just variance. That's how it goes, it'll happen. Had 45 teams in the Millie Maker, didn't play cash this week, bricked every team in the Millie Maker, so none of the 45 cashed. Don't let people tell you that having multiple entries is what allows you to win. It's not, it just makes it harder. Anyway, let's jump right in. Jameis was my most owned quarterback. I think I had probably 75% Jameis at least. Thought he was in a great spot. That Tampa Bay QB stat was floating around. I didn't think he was going to get pulled. It's basically the equivalent of Patrick Mahomes. Tampa QBs in the year at least, not talent-wise, of course. But ended up getting 25.88. Definitely a solid game from him. Paired him with Mike Evans for the correlation, of course. And I thought it was a great play. He should have gotten more points than this. He was streaking down the field for what would have been a touchdown if Jameis didn't throw it that forced him into the sideline, because he would have scored about a 75-yard touchdown, 70-yard touchdown really early on, and that would have been a nice big swing there, but that's how it goes sometimes. Jameis, best QB. Breida, thought was a good play. I played more Kittle, and on the teams I had Kittle, I normally didn't use Breida, so sadly didn't have as much as him as I wish I did. Ended up getting 20. Good game script for him, kind of as a pass catching back, but he only got 3 catches. Tampa Bay is just a terrible defense overall, so getting 34 receiving yards on 3 catches and then the 106 rushing yards is pretty solid. Didn't score a touchdown, 20 points for Blues around 5,500, so 5,700, not bad. Gus Edwards, I pivoted onto him on as many teams as I could, pretty much. Basically, 90% of my teams had Gus Edwards, and he did fine, but it was mostly because Alex Collins was announced inactive like an hour before lock, so I wanted as much exposure to him as I could get. Getting him onto 90% of my teams, definitely the right play process-wise with Alex Collins out. It's probably for scoring a touchdown is so high. And running QBs like Lamar Jackson help running backs because it forces defenders to guard the edges more and leaves more holes up the middle. He didn't do terrible at 14.8, but honestly I think it's kind of a floor game for him. But it's always a risk taking running backs that don't catch passes. With Alex Collins being announced inactive, it was just too good of a spot to pass up against the Raiders. Paired him with the Ravens D. 18 points for the Ravens D, 2 defensive touchdowns. Probably took away from Gus Edwards' touchdowns himself, but so it goes sometimes. The correlation's not that strong between running backs and defense anyway. I don't take that too much into account. Tyler Boyd, 21.5. He got a 60-yard pass taken away late in the game. That would have been putting him over 100 yards for the bonus. That kind of stinks. Probably like a 9-point swing, 10-point swing. Against Cleveland, Cleveland's worse against slot wide receivers, even though they are a solid defense. Since he was at home, not terrible. He did most of his work, ironically, when Andy Dalton got hurt, who looked terrible. I hate the Bengals' offensive scheme. Their coaching staff is just atrocious. They have Marvin Lewis is a terrible coach, and they just hired Hugh Jackson, who's 0-2 as a backup for them, so it's legit. Had a lot of Tyler Boyd. One of my favorite guys to roster, honestly, at 6,000. Price tag's very affordable. Came down from that 7,500 tag. Julian Edelman, jam to win, kind of got me onto this play. He's fine. Only 4 catches, which is kind of surprising. Had a somewhat amount of him, not as much as Tyler Boyd, not even close, but a decent amount. He scored a touchdown, could have scored 2. 18.4 wouldn't kill you, but he cost 7,000, so not great for your GBPs, of course. Mike Evans, as I talked about earlier, pairing with Jameis. Could have had that touchdown really early in the game. That would have been huge. Greg Olsen, with Devin Funchess out, and I knew DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel were going to be fairly shocky. DJ Moore more so, but Greg Olsen came in at 6%, I believe, at 4,400, and he's one of the bigger targets in the red zone, so Newton could easily go to him over the other guys. Ended up McCaffrey being the one who scored 50-plus points, and I had 0 McCaffrey in the week, so that's probably why I had a terrible week, but that's how it goes sometimes. Didn't expect him to get 100 rushing, over 100 rushing, and over 100 receiving, and multiple touchdowns. So when that happens, guy's going to go off. And I believe he gets the Bucs next week, so that'll be interesting. Marlon Mack I had on basically every team, I think. 31.7%. I thought it'd be around 20%. I think he'd get this high. The Dolphins have a terrible run defense. The Colts are going to score a lot of points. Favorable game script for him. I mean, everything's set up really well for this guy, other than the fact that he doesn't really catch passes that well. But other than that, just an amazing spot. I think I won 100%, like 95% Marlon Mack, and at this ownership, I probably would have faded him, honestly, no matter how good of a play he is, because 31.7%, that's just ridiculously high. I wasn't projecting that high of ownership. And then the Ravens D scored 2 defensive touchdowns. Defense. That 20.8%, that's just so high. I mean, look at the next team, another Jameis team. I used Chubb on this team, which was nice. I had a lot of Chubb before the Alex Collins news came out. Then I pivoted a lot of my Chubb to Gus Edwards and upgraded a wide receiver. Chubb was in a solid spot. Cincinnati is terrible against the running back, as usual. 2 touchdowns, only 44 receiving yards, 84 rushing yards. 44 receiving yards is not bad for Chubb, considering he's a more ground and pound type running back. Mack again, Tyler Boyd again, Mike Evans again, Sterling Shepard. Didn't really have much Odell this week. I ended up going Shepard in some spots where I could afford him at 5,200, 5,300. So he's pretty cheap. I thought not too big of a difference between him and Odell's matchup, and Odell was just way more expensive. I knew he'd be more popular, so Shepard's a fine play, I think, just for the leverage and against the Eagles' bad defense and the game script they'll likely be trailing, I thought. Kittle, had a ton of Kittle. Levitan said Ertz was the better play on the solo pod today. I think it's close, honestly, closer than he thinks. At the ownership, he's probably right, considering Kittle is this highly owned. Just an amazing match against Tampa Bay, but Mullins throwing to him and Wentz throwing to Ertz is a big difference, and they're on the road for whatever that's worth. But I don't know. Then Humphreys in this team. I thought Humphreys was a fine play at 4,000. Had more Kenny Stills in him, to be honest, but yeah, just went for the double stack with Jameis. And then Steelers D. Steelers just played atrociously. I did not expect them to play that poorly. Like, everything that went wrong for them could have gone wrong. It was kind of a brutal game. This team, another Gus Edwards on every team, pretty much other than a few, like, Chubb teams. Ertz on this one, pretty similar. Steelers D. Kenny Stills, had a lot of Kenny Stills at 4.2%. He almost caught like a 50-yard touchdown, but almost doesn't count for anything really. I went Kenny Stills in the flex in a lot of teams because he was 3,900 and was waiting on Melvin Gordon news, and Eckler was 3,700, so I was definitely considering pivoting onto him. Ended up keeping Stills on most of my teams because Gordon was going to play, obviously, and Stills had decent upside in a game where they'd be trailing. Tannehill was back. He's the wide receiver 1. I thought it was a sneaky good matchup, even though the Colts been good at limiting big plays from the other team. Ended up getting 1.6, but I think the process is okay there. And Ravens D again. Obviously, I wish I pivoted to Eckler, but with Melvin Gordon playing, I don't know how you can really play him. I think it's the same team. I ended up having that team a few times. Kendrick Bourne in this one. Bourne was a solid play as well. Went him and then Ertz instead of Kittle. Had a lot of Kittle, though. Kittle again. Stills in this one. Martin Mack again. Keenan Allen, solid play. Yeah, where I went on a lot of the plays in the week was 7K wide receivers, and they ended up getting around 20 each from them. This one was in my counting team, which was interesting, paired with Curse, who got 18.6. So yeah, I ended up bricking like every Million Maker team. It'll happen. Just like the run bad was pretty crazy, just every spot. Worst team was a Wentz team, to Ertz and Kittle, double tight end. Still, Shepard, Keenan Allen. Mixing Snow Tyler Boyd and Mac again. Alright. And let's quickly look at the Tiers Wildcat. It's going to be a quicker review this week, guys. Ended up getting 8th out of 16. 178.82. Jameis at QB. Wentz in Tier 2 paired with Ertz. Didn't pair Jameis with anyone because I believe Saquon was in Tier 3 where Evans was. Saquon was the clear best play again. Thielen Tier 4, Thielen was just insanely consistent. He had a few dud games mixed in, but he's just so good outside of those. Good match against the Packers. Mixon, Tier 5. Tier 5 was kind of close. Could have gone DJ, could have gone Keenan Allen. I considered Keenan Allen. I didn't love DJ this week. Ertz, Tier 6. Ertz, good play. Chubb was in there too. Definitely could consider Chubb, but I went Wentz in Tier 2, so I wanted to pair him with Ertz. Marlon Mack tier 7. I was just so high on Mack this week. And he had a floor game. He ended up getting concussed, so he could have had a monster game just watching that one. Hashtag team watch the games. And DJ Moore in tier 8 was the clear play pretty much. Sean Jackson, possible, but DJ Moore is just way more consistent. Lockett, very interesting going Lockett there by Chris here. Yeah, sorry for a mediocre review this week, guys, but I'm kind of really busy right now and had to get through it, so hopefully you guys had a better week than me. I'm going to be heading to Florida, so hopefully I can take down this king of the beach. That's what matters most to me at the moment. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter, links in the description down below. Other than that, leave a like if you enjoyed.